What's up, Lore Masters? Today, for those in America at least, it is April 5th, First Contact Day. This is the day that Vulcans detected Zephram Cochrane's warp drive and decided to land on Earth. Thanks to this, the United Earth results and the humans are integral to the formation of the Coalition of Planets and then ultimately, the United Federation of Planets. A proud day for all. However, let's rewind. What if, instead of the Vulcans, it was some other race that had discovered the Terrans? Let's consider. While we can't be sure exactly what it would look like for any of the other races, we can make some educated guesses. For instance, had the Romulans discovered the Terrans first, they would have almost assuredly worked within the background to take control, opting to ally with the strongest faction or perhaps those most apt to be manipulated. The shifty invaders would have assisted their puppets in obtaining world domination, ensuring that the leader was loyal to the Romulan Star Empire. They might even show themselves to the world and install their own leader ultimately. I suppose it is possible that they could show up as some form of savior, offering to cure the ills that Earth has. However, I think subterfuge is more the style that the Romulans would go. Ultimately, the Earth would be strip mined for resources which would then be sent back to assist the Ryansu in other wars. Humanity would welcome the Romulans at first, though the strip mining of the planet and the second-class citizenship would soon grate. I could see an active resistance working against the Romulans from the shadows, perhaps spreading across the galaxy to tell the tale of the horrible Romulans. As the Star Empire grew, the Romulans would become even more oppressive, with humanity either being beat down or ultimately throwing the shackles off of their green-blooded menace. Then there is the possibility of a first contact with the Klingons. The Empire would likely not be as cunning as the Romulans. Klingon ships would swoop down upon the Terrans and demand servitude, ultimately conquering the planet, and it wouldn't take very long. While the Klingons, in the original series at least, were not originally very focused on honor, the retcons we see in the original series movies suggest that at least some houses would become fascinated in the warrior spirit of the humans. A house would likely be installed to oversee them and the planet, again strip mined with the humans being used as labor. I do believe that the warrior spirit of the humans would impress the Empire and a type of twisted cultural Darwinism would occur where humans become extremely aggressive. As time progressed, Earth would likely move from a slave state to one that's a vassal and then likely become a Klingon member. This would be consistent with other planets that we see in the original series moving to the Next Generation and ultimately Deep Space Nine. The humans, irrevocably changed, would have their baser natures bred into them and would likely assist in conquering other nations such as the Vulcans. With the previous two, it's quite easy to determine how they would have treated the humans. We have enough backstory on them to really understand what would go into the enslavement of humanity. However, a few of the other species wouldn't be so easy. When considering how the Andorians would react, a lot of people think that they would become fast friends with the humans. This isn't necessarily the case. The reason the Andorians were so amiable to the Terrans at first was because of the special circumstances. Archer and Shran become pretty good friends, but also, through Archer, the Andorians observe humans are not just a puppet state of the Vulcans. The United Earth could be used as an intermediary between the two. The fact that the humans could be trusted to use their own judgment made both sides more open to listening to them. However, we know that generally first contact scenarios with the Andorians usually result in conflict. The first interaction with the Andorians is diplomatic, but it ends with gunfire. Both the Vulcans and the Tellarites discuss the ultimate conflicts that they had to endure after Andorian betrayal. Again, when the Andorians first arrive, they might try to align themselves with the stronger elements found on Earth, but through their duplicitous nature, it would mean a war that would ironically unite the Earth and cause them to fight against the invaders. This would bring a more militant United Earth, though to what extent is up for debate. I personally don't think it would create the Terran Empire. The least known and most up for conversation would be that of a first contact with the Tellarites. We really don't know enough about the species to make an accurate judgment, though the way they act and the way they talk could have started a conflict pretty early. Likely, the Tellarites would have possibly started trade or simply ignored the Terrans. Curiously, this little thought exercise only really proves to show us how awful all other species who aren't human are. What do you think the first contact experience would be with these various races? Is there anyone that I left out? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next Lore Reloaded.